Noga Erez. This is the debut album from an Israeli producer and singer-songwriter. This thing is awesome. It's eclectic and pulls from a lot of different sounds and textures and styles of music, but certainly stays within the consistent style of electronic music and art pop, and even a fair bit of future bass as well. At times it reminds me of MIA with the combination of hip-hop influenced verses and those very experimental, sometimes off-the-wall beats that don't at first sound like they'd be able to carry a consistent or even catchy groove, but the thing is, they do. The chimes and the glassy clinks on the track Global Fear do so much to add to the atmosphere of that track, and the falsetto wails on the opener Balkada come across so hauntingly, it's ghostly. Even ghostlier is the slower but just as unsettling track Toy, which has this sputtering trap-like percussion and sound effects of glass breaking going off in both stereo channels. I would recommend listening to this album with a good set of headphones, because there is so much detail packed into this meticulously crafted electronic album. Erez does not let down her game as a producer for sure. Even the interludes on this thing are quite beautiful and actually sound like seamless moments leading right into the next track. At times I don't even notice that it was an interlude, it just sounds like part of the track that's following it, because they're just that well placed. There are plenty of off-kilter rhythms and experimental instrumentals to be found. I catch a hint of influence from future bass in the way that the music sounds. It's very bassy, but the rhythms are so odd and off-kilter, and the sharp percussion on a lot of these tracks, from snare drums to trap to very metallic bangs and clangs, can really just make these songs jut out into your ear holes. But it's constantly engaging, and there are great build-ups on tracks like Pity and Toy and Worth None, and even towards the end of the title track, that add new layers as the songs progress. I love these moments because that stronger sense of melody just helps to give that final push of momentum towards the end of the track. There's a fantastic grasp of good songwriting on this record, and it's enough to make some of the weirdest musical moments of the year sound also like the catchiest. There isn't really anything on this album I have strong reservations about. Maybe some of the preludes to some tracks like Hit You could have been a little more fruitful, a little more eventful, since that track in particular does seem to be a little directionless as the prelude to the title track. By no means is it bad, I just think that perhaps it just could have done a lot more, especially since that prelude or interlude kind of lasts a full 1.5 minutes. Overall though, I would say that this is a fantastic art pop / electronica album, very experimental. I wouldn't say it's an accessible album at all, but it's certainly an interesting one, and I hope that if you're craving something quite off the wall, but with a strong grasp of groove and songwriting and melody, then please, I implore you check this thing out. 8 out of 10.